Hello and welcome to the Katakana Basics online course. My name is Andy, and in this course, you'll learn how to read words written in katakana. Katakana is one of the 3 alphabets in the Japanese writing system. Most people start by learning hiragana, katakana, then kanji. So if you haven't learned hiragana yet, I highly suggest you check out my hiragana course before taking this one. Katakana follows the same pronunciation pattern as hiragana, and it follows most of the same rules. However, we use katakana for words that originated from other languages. For example, pizza, which means pizza, basu, which means bus, and necklace, which means necklace. We often refer to these words as loan words. You'll also see foreign names and places written in katakana, like Tomu for Tom, Paris for Paris, and Canada for Canada. You may occasionally see katakana used to emphasize words in a sentence, similar to the way we would bold or italicize words in English. Lastly, you may see Japanese words that have very difficult kanji written in katakana. For this reason, you'll often see animals and insects written in katakana. For example, kirin and hae. Here's a quick read-through of each katakana character. A, I, U, E, O. Ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. Sa, shi, su, se, so. Ta, chi, tsu, te, to. Na, ni, nu, ne, no. Ha, hi, hu, he, ho. Ma, mi, mu, me, mo. Ya, yu, yo. Ra, ri, ru, re, ro. Wa, o, n. Believe it or not, there are a ton of loan words that sound similar to words in English and are easy to memorize. Learning katakana will help you expand your vocabulary quickly. Over the next several lessons, we'll practice reading each individual character. Good luck, and I'll see you in the next video. In this lesson, we'll learn the katakana characters for the 5 vowel sounds in Japanese. A, I, U, E, O. The first character we'll learn is A. 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 Which of these characters is A? A. The next character we'll learn is I. 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 Which of these characters is I? I. Ice. Ice. Iron. Iron. The next character we'll learn is U. 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 Which of these characters is U? U. Ukulele. Ukulele. Auto. Auto. Uirus. Uirus. The next character we'll learn is E. 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 Which of these characters is e? E. Uesto. Uesto. The final character we'll learn is o. 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 Which of these characters is o? O. Violin. Violin. We learned the characters a, I, U, e, o. In the next lesson, we'll learn the characters ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. See you in the next video! In this lesson, we'll learn the characters ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. Before we begin, let's talk about how to create long vowels in katakana. In hiragana, we would create long vowels by adding a vowel to the end of a character. In katakana, we would add a line to the end of a character to extend the vowel sound. For example, sakka, which means soccer. Keiki, which means cake. Rope, which means rope. The first character we'll learn is ka. 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 Which of these characters is ka? Ka. Kaado. Kaado. Okarina. Okarina. The next character we'll learn is ki. 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 Which of these characters is ki? Ki. Kiwi. Kiwi. Kisu. Kisu. The next character we'll learn is ku. 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 Which of these characters is ku? Ku. Kuizu. Kuizu. Make. Make. The next character we'll learn is ke. 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 Which of these characters is ke? Ke. Keiki. Keiki. Care. Care. The final character we'll learn is ko. 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 Which of these characters is ko? Ko. Koko wa. Koko wa. Earcon. Earcon. We learned the characters ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. In the next lesson, we'll learn the characters ga, gi, gu, ge, go. See you in the next video! In this lesson, we'll learn the characters ga, gi, gu, ge, go. To review, what is this character? Ka. How would you read this character? Ga. Ga. Gaido. Gaido. Gado. Gado. What is this character? Ki. How would you read this character? Gi. Gi. Gia. Gia.アレルギー。アレルギー。What is this character? Ku. How would you read this character? Gu. Gu. Guava. Guava. King. King. What is this character? Ke. How would you read this character? Ge. Ge. Game. Game. Guest. Guest. What is this character? Ko. How would you read this character? Go. Go.ゴーグル。ゴーグル。ゴルフ。 ゴルフ。We learned the characters ga, gi, gu, ge, go. In the next lesson, we'll learn the characters sa, shi, su, se, so. See you in the next video! In this lesson, we'll learn the characters sa, shi, su, se, so. The first character we'll learn is sa. 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 Which of these characters is sa? Sa. Saikoro. Saikoro. Sign. Sign. The next character we'll learn is shi. 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 Note that the character shi looks very similar to the character tsu. When writing shi, you'll want to make sure that the first two strokes are horizontal and the third stroke is written from the bottom up. Which of these characters is shi? Shi. Russia. Russia. Sheets. Sheets. The next character we'll learn is su. 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 Which of these characters is su? Su. Case. Case. Sweets. Sweets. The next character we'll learn is se. 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 Which of these characters is se? Se. Senchi. Senchi. Celery. Celery. Sale. Sale. The final character we'll learn is so. 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 Note that the character so looks very similar to the character n. When writing so, you'll want to make sure that the first stroke is vertical and the second stroke is written from the top down. Which of these characters is so? So. Sauce. Sauce. Seesaw. Seesaw. パソコン、パソコン。We learned the characters sa, shi, su, se, so. In the next lesson, we'll learn the characters za, ji, zu, ze, zo. See you in the next video. In this lesson, we'll learn the characters za, ji, zu, ze, zo. To review, what is this character? Sa. How would you read this character? Za. Za. Zakuro. Zakuro. Azarashi. Azarashi. What is this character? Shi. How would you read this character? Ji. Ji. Asia. Asia. Jipan. Jipan. What is this character? Su. How would you read this character? Zu. Zu. Suzume. Suzume. Bronze. Bronze. What is this character? Se. How would you read this character? Ze. Ze. Zero. Zero. Zemi. Zemi. What is this character? So. How would you read this character? Zo. 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 Amazon. Amazon. We learned the characters za, ji, zu, ze, zo. In the next lesson, we'll learn the characters ta, chi, tsu, te, to. See you in the next video. In this lesson, we'll learn the characters ta, chi, tsu, te, to. The first character we'll learn is ta. 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 Which of these characters is ta? Ta. Taxi. Taxi. Tacos. Tacos. Guitar. Guitar. The next character we'll learn is chi. 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 Which of these characters is chi? Chi. Cheese. Cheese. Chicken. Chicken. Cheek. Cheek. The next character we'll learn is tsu. 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 Note that the character tsu looks very similar to the character shi. When writing tsu, you'll want to make sure that the first two strokes are vertical and the third stroke is written from the top down. Which of these characters is tsu? Tsu. Tour. Tour. Tuna. Tuna. Tsuru. Tsuru. The next character we'll learn is te. 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 Which of these characters is te? Te. Steak. Steak. Item. Item. Interior. Interior. The final character we'll learn is to. 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 Which of these characters is to? To. Toaster. Toaster. Testo. Testo. Coat. Coat. Like with hiragana, a small tsu creates a double consonant sound. アタック、アタック。オッケー、オッケー。サッカー、サッカー。We learned the characters た、ち、つ、て、と. In the next lesson, we'll learn the characters だ、じ、つ、て、と. See you in the next video. In this lesson, we'll learn the characters だ、じ、つ、て、と. To review, what is this character? た. How would you read this character? だ. だ.ダイエット、ダイエット。そうだ、そうだ。What is this character? ち. How would you read this character? じ, じ. Like in hiragana, chi with the dakten has the same pronunciation as shi with the dakten. There are very few, if any, loan words that use chi with the dakten. What is this character? つ. How would you read this character? ず, ず. Again, tsu with the dakten has the same pronunciation as su with the dakten. However, there are few, if any, loan words that use tsu with the dakten. What is this character? Te. How would you read this character? De. De. Idea. Idea. デザート、デザート。What is this character? と. How would you read this character? ど、ど。ドア、ドア。ドイツ、ドイツ。We learned the characters だ、じ、ず、で、ど. In the next lesson, we'll learn the characters な、に、ぬ、ね、の. See you in the next video. In this lesson, we'll learn the characters な、に、ぬ、ね、の. The first character we'll learn is な. 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 Which of these characters is na? Na. Nuts. Nuts. Canada. Canada. Sauna. Sauna. The next character we'll learn is ni. 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 Which of these characters is ni? Ni. Nitto. Nitto.テニス。テニス。ジーニー。ジーニー。The next character we'll learn is nu. 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 Which of these characters is nu? Nu. 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 Canoe. Canoe. Snooze. Snooze. The next character we'll learn is net. 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 Which of these characters is net? Net. Necktie. Necktie. Netto. Netto. Internet. Internet. The final character we'll learn is no. 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 Which of these characters is no? No. Note. Note. Noise. Noise. Knock. Knock. We learned the characters na, ni, nu, ne, no. In the next lesson, we'll go over the characters ha, hi, hu, he, ho. See you in the next video! In this lesson, we'll learn the characters ha, hi, hu, he, ho. The first character we'll learn is ha. 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 Which of these characters is ha? Ha.ハート。ハート。ハエ。ハエ。ハチ。ハチ。The next character we'll learn is hi. 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 Which of these characters is hi? Hi.コーヒー。コーヒー。ヒート。ヒート。ヒーター。ヒーター。The next character we'll learn is fu. 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 Which of these characters is fu? Fu. Food. Food. ナイフ。ナイフ。セーフ。セーフ。The next character we'll learn is he. 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 Note that the katakana character he looks almost identical to the hiragana character he. Which of these characters is he? He. ヘイト。ヘイト。ヘッドセット。ヘッドセット。ヘルシー。ヘルシー。The final character we'll learn is ほ。ほ。ほ。Which of these characters is ほ。ほ。アイスホッケー。アイスホッケー。ホットケーキ。ホットケーキ。 スマホ、スマホ。We learned the characters ha, hi, hu, he, ho. In the next lesson, we'll learn the characters ba, bi, bu, be, bo. See you in the next video. In this lesson, we'll learn the characters ba, bi, bu, be, bo. To review, what is this character? Ha. How would you read this character? Ba. Ba. Bike. Bike. Banana. Banana. What is this character? He. How would you read this character? Bi. Bi. Video. Video. Business. Business. What is this character? Who. How would you read this character? Bu. Bu. Herb. Herb. Boots. Boots. What is this character? He. How would you read this character? Be. Be. Bed. Bed. Bass guitar. Bass guitar. What is this character? Ho. How would you read this character? Bo. Bo. Avocado. Avocado. Snowboard. Snowboard. We learned the characters ba, bi, bu, be, bo. In the next lesson, we'll learn the characters pa, pi, pu, pe, po. See you in the next video. In this lesson, we'll learn the characters pa, pi, pu, pe, po. To review, what is this character? Ha. How would you read this character? パ、パ、スーパー、スーパー、パスタ、パスタ。What is this character? ひ。How would you read this character? ピ、ピ、ピアノ、ピアノ。ピクニック、ピクニック。What is this character? ふ。How would you read this character? ぷ、ぷ。スープ、スープ。ヒップホップ、ヒップホップ。What is this character? へ。How would you read this character? ぺ、ぺ。ペア、ペア。ペット、ペット。What is this character? ほ。How would you read this character? ぽ、ぽ。ポスト、ポスト。ポケット、ポケット。We learned the characters pa, pi, pu, pe, po. In the next lesson, we'll go over the characters ma, mi, mu, me, mo. See you in the next video. In this lesson, we'll learn the characters ma, mi, mu, me, mo. The first character we'll learn is ma. Ma, ma. Note that the character ma looks very similar to the character a. Be careful not to get them mixed up. Which of these characters is ma? Ma. Machi, machi. Mic, mic. トマト、トマト。The next character we'll learn is み、み、み。Which of these characters is み、み。ミキサー、ミキサー。グミ、グミ。コミック、コミック。The next character we'll learn is む、む、む。Which of these characters is む、む。ムービー、ムービー。キムチ、キムチ。チーム、チーム。The next character we'll learn is め、め、め。Which of these characters is め、め。メイク、メイク。アニメ、アニメ。メイド、メイド。The final character we'll learn is も、も、も。Which of these characters is も、も。モップ、モップ。モニター、モニター。モデル、モデル。We learned the characters ま、み、む、め、も。In the next lesson, we'll learn the characters や、ゆ、よ. See you in the next video! In this lesson, we'll learn the characters や、ゆ、よ. The first character we'll learn is や. や、や. Which of these characters is や? や. 타이야, タイヤ、ヤシ、ヤシ、カヤック、カヤック。The next character we'll learn is yu, yu, yu. Which of these characters is yu? Yu.ユニット、ユニット。ユーザー、ユーザー。ユニコーン、ユニコーン。The final character we'll learn is yo, yo, yo. Which of these characters is yo, yo? Yo yo, yo yo. Yotto, yotto. Mayonnaise, mayonnaise. We learned the characters ya, yu, yo. In the next lesson, we'll learn the characters ra, ri, ru, re, ro. See you in the next video! In this lesson, we'll learn the characters ra, ri, ru, re, ro. The first character we'll learn is ra. Ra, ra. Which of these characters is ra? Ra. Rappa, rappa. Piramiddo, piramiddo. Vanilla, vanilla. The next character we'll learn is ri, ri, ri. Which of these characters is ri? Ri. Christmas, Christmas.イギリス、イギリス。アメリカ、アメリカ。The next character we'll learn is ru, ru, ru. Which of these characters is ru? Ru. Ruby. Ruby. Pool. Pool.アルバム。アルバム。The next character we'll learn is de. 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 Which of these characters is de? De. Recipe. Recipe. Curry rice. Curry rice. Stereo. Stereo. The final character we'll learn is ro. 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 Which of these characters is ro? Ro. Rocket. Rocket. Robot. Robot. Clover. Clover. We learned the characters ra, ri, ru, re, ro. In the next lesson, we'll go over the characters wa, o, n. See you in the next video! In this lesson, we'll learn the final 3 katakana characters wa, o, n. The first character we'll learn is wa. 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 Which of these characters is wa? Wa. Waffle. Waffle. Hawaii. Hawaii. Dry flower. Dry flower. The next character we'll learn is o. 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 Since o is used as a particle, we very rarely see the katakana o. Which of these characters is o? O. The final character we'll learn is n. 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 Note that the character n looks very similar to the character so. When writing n, you'll want to make sure that the first stroke is horizontal and the second stroke is written from the bottom up. Which of these characters is n? N.トンネル、トンネル。ハンカチ、ハンカチ。オレンジ、オレンジ。We learned the characters wa, o, n. In the next lesson, we'll go over the small ya, yu, yo characters. See you in the next video! In this lesson, we'll go over the small ya, yu, yo characters. To review, what is this character? Ya. A small ya functions the same way in katakana as it does in hiragana. Here's how you would read the 12 different combinations. Repeat after each one. Kya, gya, sha, ja, cha, ja, nya, hya, bya, pya, mya, rya. Shatsu, シャツ。ジャケット、ジャケット。チャイム、チャイム。What is this character? Yu. Again, a small yu functions the same way in katakana as it does in hiragana. Here's how you would read the 12 different combinations. Repeat after each one. Kyu, gyu, shu, ju, chu, ju, nyu, hyu, byu, pyu, myu, ryu. Barbecue, barbecue. Music, music. New York, New York. What is this character? Yo. Here's how you would read the 12 different small yo combinations. Kyo, gyo, sho, jo, cho, jo, nyo, hyo, byo, pyo, myo, ryo. 胡椒、胡椒、ジョーカー、ジョーカー、チョコレート、チョコレート。We went over the small ya, you, yo characters. In the next lesson, we'll go over how to read small vowels in katakana. See you in the next video! In this lesson, we'll go over how to read the small a, I, U, E, O. In addition to the small ya, you, and yo characters, you will encounter words with the small a, I, U, E, O in katakana. Small vowels function similarly to small ya, you, yo. Simply replace the previous vowel sound with the small a, I, U, E, or O sound. Let's take a look at some common small vowel combinations. To review, what is this character? A. A small a essentially replaces the vowel sound of the previous character with a. A common combination that uses a small a is fa, fa. Faito, faito. Sofa, sofa. Fairu, fairu. What is this character? I. Again, a small I essentially replaces the vowel sound of the previous character with I. Here are some common combinations that use a small I. T, T, D, D, Fi, Fi. Tissue, tissue. Dinner, dinner. Filter, filter. You may also see a small I after U to represent the English W sound. We, we. Wink, wink. Halloween, Halloween. What is this character? U. The small U isn't used very often, but you may occasionally see these combinations. Tu, tu, du, du. You may also come across U with the dakten. An U with the dakten usually represents a V sound. V, v. What is this character? E. Here are some common combinations using a small e. し、し、じ、じ、ち、ち、fe, fe. シェフ、シェフ。チェド、チェド。パフェ、パフェ。You may also see a small e after u to represent the English W sound. ウェ。ウェディング、ウェディング。スウェーデン、スウェーデン。What is this character? お。A common combination that uses a small o is フォ、フォ。フォロー、フォロー。フォーク、フォーク。フォント、フォント。You may see a small o after u to represent the English W sound. ウォ。ウォシュレット、ウォシュレット。ウォレット、ウォレット。We learned how to read the small a, i, u, e, o characters in katakana. Congratulations, you have completed the Katakana Basics online course. Now that you can read hiragana and katakana, you can study Japanese without relying too much on romaji. If you want to continue to improve your reading and writing, you can begin studying kanji. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.